race that launched a million slams. It belongs to Micheal Jordan, arguably the most exciting ball player of his generation, most valuable player in last Sunday's NBA All-Star game, and reigning king of the impossible. It is Air Jordan who supplies the lift for the Chicago Bulls. His name is Dominique, and he is unique. A player who routinely defies gravity and redefines the limits of his art. Wilkins, the runner-up to Jordan in the slam dunk competition. There are millions of high-wire moves still to be choreographed, and the first-place Atlanta Hawks are soaring on Wilkins' wings. And so today, a grudge rematch. Dominique Wilkins, man of the incredible move, and Micheal Jordan, a legend who's becoming larger than life. It's the NBA on CBS. It's a Monday afternoon, a holiday Monday afternoon of basketball on CBS. A Central Division battle today. The Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, and welcome to the NBA on CBS, the fifth meeting this year between these two Central Division rivals. But there's no question the spotlight today will focus on Dominique and Micheal Jordan. I am working with Tommy Heinsohn. And Tommy, given what happened last week, I would think there's some incentive for Dominique to go out and really play well.
Well, he came up empty at All-Star game time in the slam dunk contest, and he really had an outstanding game in that All-Star tilt. But he has carried his ball club with 40-plus point performances ever since that All-Star game. He's virtually taken his team on his shoulders. Micheal Jordan has really done the job for his ball club, too, in a different kind of way this year than last year. He's more like a decoy on offense, creating offense for other players and still scoring an awful lot of the ball up the court and taking advantage of layups, easy basket situations. It's my opinion, whoever really capitalizes on their speed the best today wins the game.
So it's Atlanta on the road against the Chicago Bulls, playing before a sellout crowd here at home. This is the fifth meeting of the year between these two Central Division rivals. Micheal Jordan comes in 33.1 points per game, leads the NBA. And how about the Central Division standings? Atlanta with a 1.5 game edge over Detroit, and Chicago 4.5 back, but every team in the division over 500, Tom.
This is the big, rough, tough division now in NBA basketball. The Hawks have been having a rash of injuries, and they're hoping to overcome it with performances from Dominique Wilkins in particular.
Brad Sellers with no option save foul Dominique Wilkins, which he does, and Wilkins will go to the line off the center tip.
Well, it looks like they're ready to get that speed in action right off the get-go. On the tip, he's had a knee problem a great deal of this early part of the season, but it really hasn't seemed to hurt his ability to get up and take it strong to the hoop.
Wait for the release, man. Wait.
Wilkins, who a week ago here finished second in that controversial scoring decision in the slam dunk competition, and has publicly indicated he wants no part of it anymore.
He sure got a little rankles.
Yes, he did.
And I think he's going to take it out on the Bulls this afternoon.
Yeah, you really expect him to be inspired today.
I really do, because he's that type of emotional player that he reaches a peak and he can pump himself up to a plateau higher than most players can.
Fifth time the two teams have met. Chicago won the first two. Atlanta won the last two. Followed by Livingston, no good. The tip comes down in the hands of Micheal Jordan. And Chicago has had horrid shooting percentages the last 4 games.
Inside shooting.
Rory Sparrow on the break. Now they set it up in the half-court offense. Micheal Jordan pulls up, takes the jumper, and hits it.
I think Jordan's outside shooting this year has just been terrific.
Chicago back on top by 1. Randy Wittman off the pick. As Doug Collins played the tape for the Bulls, said they fell on the floor laughing when they heard Tom Heinsohn say,
Mike Brown.
Yesterday at practice, Mike Brown wanted to hear about it right away. Here's Tree Rollins, got it.
Tree Rollins from Livingston.
Atlanta's got a very aggressive defense. They all have quick hands and quick feet.
Sparrow's shot too strong, and here comes Atlanta. Doc Rivers, ball tipped away by Mike Brown, and Jordan. Here comes Chicago in transition, 3-on-1.
Both teams trying to take it to each other. Fast break style, create some openings, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on the middlemen of each team to create the good openings for easy baskets.
Brown on him, trying to force him to that side, and he takes the shot and puts it in.
Now, he's a very underrated player, Tree Rollins. Doesn't get credit for the offense. He does score. They don't go to him an awful lot. But boy, I tell you, he is Mr. Defense for the Hawks inside.
He takes it all the way. Rollins, no full goaltending. Collins wanted it. And Wittman will pull up after the pump fake and put Atlanta back on top.
What a great guy to have out on the wing on a fast break team. Gets into the corner, and when the defense sinks in, Wittman will kill you out there. 2 in a row does anybody's heart good.
8:05 to go, first quarter of play. Pick and roll. Oakley
by Chicago is Roy Sparrow. And now they're being forced more and more to the half-court set offense.
Jordan tries to get it inside, taken away, and here comes Atlanta. Jordan way up in the air for the rebound. Fires to Charles Oakley, off balance when he took the shot and is limping a little bit as he goes back down court. Rivers to Wittman. That's 3.
Get it to the outside shooter, and then the defense has to rush at you and get by and into the defense for some easy shots.
Randy Wittman leads all scorers with 6 now. Now Chicago 3-on-3. Micheal Jordan.
No way.
Randy Wittman has the hot hand now.
Randy Wilkins.
And they'll keep feeding him until proven otherwise.
Now, he comes off picks. He's one of the best. If they set good picks for him, he's a 20-point-a-game scorer if he gets enough shots in.
How about the pass? How about the shot and the chance for 3?
Micheal Jordan has become another dimensional ball player. He's finding the people when he's supposed to find the people. A version of the Twin Towers, Corzine and Brown in there at the same time.
Kevin Willis. Well, he's really been having problems with coming back from the knee injury, but the follow shot is good from Cliff Livingston.
That was Antoine Carr, and I'll tell you, he is a multi-skilled player. A lot of people think he ought to be playing more time than he is. But when he's out that range and turns around, that's his shot.
There's Wittman off the pick. Cliff Livingston, that's 5 baskets for Randy Wittman.
And are his teammates knocking off the defense with some hard picks.
Jordan has Wittman on him, and they'll stay that way through much of the first half.
As soon as the double team develops, he has a total willingness to find an open man, which he did beautifully.
I think the happiest guy in the league when Muggsy Bogues came in was Spud Webb. now he said, let Muggsy have all the short man questions. His first field goal of the game.
That's not his kind of shot on the move like that.
Micheal Jordan. That's 8 points for Jordan.
And Jordan will pick his spots when he's one-on-one and take his shot wherever it may develop. As soon as he's doubled, he'll get rid of it.
Chicago back on top by 1. Antoine Carr will go and shoot the free throw after the successful basket.
Wittman really reflecting that he's afraid of Jordan's speed, backs off, and that's all the room Jordan needs to get the shot away.
Horace Grant has come into the lineup, the rookie from Clemson.
Both Pippen and Horace Grant of Chicago.
Carr from the outside, cans it.
What a skilled player Carr is. Inside, outside.
27-25, ball taken away from Sadale Creed. Spud Webb. Randy Wittman. Antoine Carr again.
He is having a field day. They brought Horace Grant in to try and stop him and stay with him, but it's not working.
And a 2-point game again. 29-27, 65 seconds to go, first quarter.
Dominique is back in there to go with Spud Webb's speed.
Takes the outsider, 3-pointer. Rebound, Antoine Carr. He's got 11 points.
Missed time rebound by Grant and right on the money by Antoine Carr.
Shot clock shows 9. That's just inside the 3-point line. Just outside of Chicago Stadium. Weather a little crisp, but inside nice and toasty. 34-29, Atlanta leads. Vern Lundquist along with Tom Heinsohn. Chicago led at 23-22, but then Atlanta stormed back and has a 5-point lead as we enter quarter number 2. Tommy, both teams want to emphasize the fast break. Let's chronicle how well they've done here in the first quarter.
Well, Atlanta obviously has been 4 out of 5 for 8 points. Chicago 1 out of 3. And what I think has really been a problem for Chicago is in their outletting of rebounds, defensive rebounds. That quick pass off the rebound, getting it to somebody that can advance the ball.
Horace Grant and Dave Corzine as Jordan gets a rest. Rebound. Oakley. Scottie Pippen cutting back to the left. Underneath. Horace Grant. Fine pass from Charles Oakley. 3. Oh, fine pass, Oakley.
The offense started to come along.
Doc Rivers loses it. Oakley, Pippen, and Grant.
But it's those little things like that that keep that fast break and demoralize the other team when you use it.
Good penetration from Doc Rivers. That puts Atlanta back on top, 38-37. Rivers with 3 points now. Micheal Jordan stays on the bench for Chicago. Scottie Pippen.
And there is a kid that's going to be a great basketball player.
You really like him.
Scott Pippen, what a multi-skilled player. Can dribble, pass, shoot.
Dandy move by Rivers.
When Rivers gets into the paint, that's his territory.
Doug Collins talking last night about his 2 young men, Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen. They're still learning how to be pros. Offensive foul.
The biggest problem with rookie players is when they play a good game, they get too emotionally up.
Dominique Wilkins.
Here is Rivers in the paint, coming down on the left side of your screen, gets into the defense, and he, as a number 2 guard back in college, really has that.
Jordan getting ready to come back into the Chicago lineup now. Kevin Willis got it. Jump hook.
Kevin Willis.
Doc Rivers rebound taken down by Oakley. There's the baseball pass. And Spud Webb jumps up at 5'7" and leaps a little higher than 6'5". Knocks it down.
Probably the biggest culprit of holding the ball too long on the Chicago Bulls is Charles Oakley for the outlet pass. That time he got it, and he immediately on the catch looks up the court and lets one fly. Could have been on the money, but that wasn't the pass to make.
Shot clock at 5. Foul on Jordan, his second.
Foul on Micheal Jordan.
Not too happy with the foul called on him. Neither was Doug Collins.
That pick and roll play by Willis.
Freak goes down to help out on Kevin Willis, and here comes Jordan with a rebound for Chicago. Sellers along the line to Pippen. What a nice move. Didn't make the shot, but coming into the game, Dominique Carr averaging 29.7 and Jordan at 33.1. Wilkins with 6 rebounds to 5 and field goal percentage. So far today, Wilkins with 5 points and Jordan
getting into the offense themselves. Well, I think Jordan by design to make things happen for his teammates, and they've settled in very nicely to that. And I think Atlanta's other people have come along and done an exception, and that's why it doesn't start anymore, I think.
We're tied, 42 all, 6:55 to go, first half. Jordan. He's in double figures with 10.
He's confusing the Atlanta defense. They don't know when to go double him, when to play him one-on-one, and he's starting to read it beautifully for those one-on-one situations.
Wittman has missed a couple in a row, and here comes Jordan for Chicago. Underneath from Oakley. Pippen. Count the basket. On Dominique Wilkins down in the low post.
Well, talk about reading the defenses and not taking forced shots. And here is a great move by Jordan. He's got Dominique on him, a little foot fake, and he drops down, but Dominique hanging on his shooting hand. But that great move eludes it, and then look at that ability to go get the rebound and then put it back up. Now, people may have thought that was a forced shot, but he's so used to slicing between double teams that was practically a layup for him, that outside shot. It just was a little bit off. This man is outstanding, and he's becoming truly one of the great creators of the game in the Bird Magic Johnson category.
And that's an area of growth for him, I guess expected, but did you expect him to blossom in that category with his team this quickly?
You could have thought he was a gunner, but he's much more than that.
Yeah. Wittman, he suddenly got in the cold hand. Here's Scottie Pippen. It's a 3-on-2. Trailer is Jordan, and Pippen doesn't see him.
Boy, they had a 4-on-3, and Pippen just didn't get rid of the ball.
Jordan now has 12. A 7-point Chicago lead. Wilkins ends the cold streak for himself.
I tell you, Dominique, don't count him out. I saw him play against the Celtics one night. They lost by something like 25. He was still man-to-man pressing with 5 seconds left to go. He wants to win.
Dominique Livingston. He's been called upon to really assume the scoring lead.
He's got to make up for a lot of the ills of this ball club right now, and he's done it, Dominique.
Well, that'll make Wilkins sick. Jordan was patting the move underneath.
Micheal Jordan coming right at you, folks. Randy Wittman, no chance to stay with him on the dribble. And his glide pattern, he tries to get intercepted by a Russian MiG, but they didn't shoot him down.
20-second timeout.
Scottie Pippen down on the court. The 22nd timeout has been called in a doubleheader. Here's Scottie Pippen. Watch it again.
This part of the no layup rule is don't give a man a layup, and Tree goes up and he says, hey, if I'm going to foul, I might as well make sure he doesn't score. He takes him down and he kind of got crunched on the knee. That's a good building for WrestleMania, right?
Looked like Hogan and Andre the Giant. Who was who? Huh? Who?
Mike Brown.
Scottie Pippen out of Central Arkansas. Surprise 5th pick in the first round. First 10 games, a 10-point average. The last 25, he's averaged 4.2. Every category has gone down. That's that rookie wall you spoke about.
But the biggest adjustment, I think, for Pippen is he has played his game a lot like Micheal Jordan. He's been a man that's had the ball and done things with off his dribble with the possession of the ball. Now playing with Jordan, I think he's going to have to learn to play more without the ball than with the ball.
Well, he's only hitting 58% from the free throw line. That's why the reaction when he made the first.
Willis should have crammed that one. You couldn't have run the 3-on-2 better than that.
John Paxson, nice feed inside. Oh, what a pass from Sellers.
Believe that kid used to be a center. He's passing like a guard.
Timeout. Kevin Willis comes down with a rebound. Rivers forces it left side to Dominique Wilkins.
Dominique Wilkins.
That is his third
Before the
basket.
end of this ball game, Dominique Wilkins is going to get his points. He is a prolific scorer. And so is who? Guess who?
Micheal Jordan.
Yes, sir.
Let's watch Micheal Jordan put it on the floor.
And what really sets up his great ability to drive is the fakes and his one step and his dribbling ability. And look at that leap. He just knows how to find the blue sky and take advantage of it. I'll tell you, he is some kind of thinking player.
Jordan 8 of 12 from the field now in the first half. Sellers, Scottie Pippen. Dominique Wilkins a week ago Saturday here. The disappointment of that All-Star weekend, but look what he's done since then.
Well, he has more or less taken his team on his own shoulders and carried them. As each ball player was being reinserted into a new role and trying to establish familiarity with that role, Dominique says, hey, get adjusted. I'll take care of business until you really know what you're doing. And he's done a great job. That's what this guy is. I think he's a truly great player.
Chicago has really gotten on a roll here in the second quarter, hitting 70%. And Atlanta falling to 40%. There's Wilkins again.
Pippen ended up defending Wilkins that time, and Pippen really got lost on trying to defend him.
Now here's Pippen. How about that?
The forwards are really coming up with some great passes to make that fast break go.
Two terrific passes. Wittman counters for Atlanta. It's back to a 10-point margin. Double team, so they go back to Paxson. And post
Into the defense underneath, and nice pass to Jordan, cutting up the middle by Sellers. Beautifully.
Horace Grant checks in, replaces his fellow rookie Scottie Pippen, who gave him some quality time here in the first half. 1:10 to go. Wittman will go to the line and shoot a couple.
Fouls on John Paxson, his first team foul.
Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen so far, between the two of them, 42 minutes a game, 14 points and 8.1 rebounds.
And when they're playing that well, this team wins. And I think their destiny will, for this season anyway, will rely or really be as important only as to how well they contribute game by game. If they're consistent, this Bulls team is going to be consistent themselves.
Horace Grant rejected by Chris Washburn.
Now, Washburn offers great potential, rather on the young side. Had some problems last year. Atlanta went out of their way to make a deal because they know he's a multi-talented player. Offensively, he can do it. But because he didn't finish college, went in as a hardship case, defensively, he's not to the pro standards yet.
Randy Wittman counters. He's suddenly really gone cold. Foul on Chicago.
Football foul, Horace Grant.
When little guys get involved in rebound action and they get surrounded, the defensive end of the game down, much like Tree Rollins. He was taking...
And a standing O for the hometown Chicago Bulls. Watch the last. Chicago Bulls exploded for 40 points in quarter number 2, and they have a 14-point lead at the half over the Atlanta Hawks in this 5th meeting between the two teams this year. 69-55, and Tommy, Chicago wanted to have an up-tempo game. They got it in that second quarter.
Doug Collins really wants to have his team run as much as possible, and they're really producing the run game for him in superb fashion. I think what has to be done right now by Atlanta is forget about their own run game and emphasize perhaps what they have a little bit more of and a better style of play in the inside game. So I think Atlanta will probably try and change the tempo of the game in the second half. You know, the object of a fast break team is to take over 100 shots a ball game. And right now, I think what you're talking about is good shooting today because they're getting a lot of easy baskets, but their shot attempts are way up near the 50 mark. Off the glass, but he took a blow. Jordan, 3. Down low because Sellers is a 7-footer, and he's very quick and really can give Dominique trouble inside.
Rivers drives the lane and pays the price, but will shoot a couple.
He is a heads-up player, and so is that other kid, Danny Manning.
Yes.
Right now, this is the guy that's really got to come to the fore, too. Get in the paint, create something. He has been a real thorn in the Bulls' side in previous games. Has not done that much today.
Jordan thought about a 1-on-4 and then decided, well, even I couldn't do that. Came back and set it up. Corzine. Does he like that? Oh!
Corzine got it. There was nobody within 15 feet of him. You're going to see a pick-and-roll play. The whole defense reacts to the penetration. Corzine spotted up as nothing but blue sky without a cloud in the area and missed it.
And that's what he hit, clouds. Basket good.
Down there. He's using that outside shot more and more.
Jordan.
Doc Rivers is second. Team's first.
When in doubt, grab hold.
Giving Oakley the green light to take the shots when he thinks he's got it.
Tree Rollins and Corzine battle for the rebound. Rollins hit it last. It'll be Chicago's to inbound.
Tree didn't like it.
57% for the game.
Now they have Dominique in a low post against the 7-footer. And I think, I thought Sellers perhaps might give him a tougher go down there, but Sellers played passive defense that time. That might be the place to start to get Atlanta back in it.
Bullet-like pass, Surveil 3. Kevin Willis in the lineup for Atlanta. And the Hawks force it. Rivers. Count the basket.
What a shot by Rivers that time. Here's Wilkins in the low post. Now, Sellers, a 7-footer who's got great leaping ability. And Wilkins got position A right over the box, and with his jumping is able to get over the top of Sellers.
That last basket by Doc Rivers narrows the margin to 12, 77-65. Timeout, Doug Collins in Chicago.
All-Star game, and I think he was a little tired out after that weekend.
And today they already have posted 77, helped in no small measure by that 40-point outburst in quarter number 2. But the lead now shaved to 12 after it was at 18. And Doug Collins said, let's talk it over.
You know, one of the great things about speed is if you bring it to play consistently over the entire 48 minutes of a ball game, the big guys of the other team start to fall by the wayside, and you start to crack it. Even if you're even Steven for the entire ball game, you can virtually count on the big guys of the other team breaking down and ending up with some easy baskets coming down the stretch.
And I will select the Miller Lite Player of the Game. In conjunction with the award, Light Beer will present a check in the amount of $5,000 in the player's name to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund. That's coming up a little later. Right now, 7:38 to go in the third quarter. And Doc Rivers will be at the free throw line trying to make it a 3-point play.
And I'll tell you, Atlanta right now has changed the tempo of this game just the way they would take it. And I think Chicago right now is falling right into the trap. They're willing to go along with this tempo, and the momentum could swing very easily to Atlanta right now. Here's the press defense by.
In order to avoid that trap you talk about, what must Chicago do?
You really got to push it up the court and still fast break. Go for the easy baskets.
Charles Oakley.
Fired underneath. There's Jordan with another rebound. 3 on 2. Results in 2.
Beautiful by Jordan. There were 4 guys coming up, and Jordan had them all spotted and then started to read the defense. Now, you watch him after the rebound, say, get in the wing. He just took a look to see Oakley in the wing, and all of a sudden, he spots Sedale 3 coming in from the left side. Now, that's reading the defense and making it commit to where you want it to commit. You wouldn't want Micheal Jordan forever having to play the middleman position either.
That just crossed my mind. Well,
I mean, what else would you want him to do?
Exactly.
Somebody else has got to do stuff like that.
82-66 after that brief run by Atlanta. Rollins and Corzine shoving off each other. And Rollins gets 2.
That was 2 behemoths bumping horns.
Jordan goes to the line.
Now, when you advance the ball quickly like the Bulls just did that time, even though you don't have a fast break opportunity, the other team's defense doesn't get totally set up. And Jordan's just smart enough to take advantages of any mismatch situations or any cracks or lack of concentration by the Hawks. And that's how he gets into the defense before they totally get set up. You know what makes him such a great player? Everything, I think, starts with his ability to dribble the ball as effectively as he does.
Now, that's an interesting point because one doesn't think of him as a great dribbler.
He puts it out there, and he's almost like a snake charmer, you know, with a flute and a snake, a cobra there. He gets people taunted and looking at the ball, and he's got a great first step if you make just the least little move to the hoop.
Dominique has it back in his face.
Brad Sellers, his second penalty.
Dominique, when he puts it on the floor, he's more of a one-dribble drive guy. He doesn't go usually more than one dribble. Here it goes, and immediately he turns around, Good up fake. Forces the shot a little bit. Got fouled, but I mean, once he was up there, there was no other alternative except throw it in the balcony.
Fouls on Sellers, and both free throws good for Dominique.
Good job playing defense against him.
15 points for Willis. Jordan, that's his 10th rebound.
Foul line, no chance to make that shot. Jordan up with the rebound, and off he goes. And you see him get right into the middle of the defense. Look the defense off, knew he had 2 men on the wing, made the reach.
Not Jordan. Michael down in the low post.
It's alone off the offensive glass.
Washburn has to come in now because Tree Rollins has picked up his 5th foul. Wilkins. That shot altered by Corzine. And here comes Michael. Oh! And again, Sellers with problems hanging on to it. That would have been dynamic. Well, let's slow it down.
Why not? There's Dominique, who had a shot altered by Corzine, and now Micheal Jordan once again the rebound and the hard push. And look at those Bulls run, and underneath all alone was Sellers, but just couldn't hold on to it.
That was Jordan, and that was Wilkins.
His hands. He may just try and fight the double team.
Chris Washburn, shot clock went off. I don't think Washburn was aware how far down it had been. Atlanta, of course, currently leading the Central Division, but Detroit coming on. Detroit has beaten both of these teams in the last week.
Oakley has learned to take the shot off the catch better this year. That's really helped his inside game.
Spud Webb.
And Spud Webb, Chicago, of course, in the 2nd year under Doug Collins, and they have improved over this same point a year ago by about 3 wins in the win column. They're still a couple of players away, but they have improved as a quality team.
I'll tell you, I think Doug Collins has done a super job here. This team, in my estimation, is 1 year ahead of where they should be.
After 49 games last year, 25 and 24, now 28 and 21. And Spud Webb gets the basket to complete the 3-point play. So 94-73 now. Atlanta, of course, had Fratello as the coach of the All-Star game, and they've had some problems just last week. There's Jordan.
2 picks allowed him to sneak into the defense under total control that time. Put it off the glass. I mean, he is under control all the time.
Jordan has 22 points. This is Washburn. He gets a couple.
They're going to need him with contact being out of the lineup.
Spud Webb John Paxson got poked in the eye by Spud Webb inadvertently. 2. And then on the inbounds play, John Paxson got poked in the eye inadvertently by Spud Webb. Jordan with 22 now. Wilkins has 15.
You know, Paxson's dad used to be a great player with the Cincinnati Royals when I was a player. Got 2 of his kids in the NBA.
Jim Paxson.
Yep. Father Jim went to Dayton.
Corzine still in the lineup now. Has played most of the second half. Here's Jordan again. He's got 24 points.
No way is Spud Webb going to stay with Micheal Jordan.
No. There's Webb with a rebound. Look at that quickness, though. Isn't that great speed? Isn't that fun?
I want to tell you, if they can get him in the open court, the ball off the rebound, the outlet pass quick enough to Spud Webb, he makes big guys twirl.
98-77. And for the first time in a little more than a week, Chicago's reached on the pad. Right. Willis. 100-79. Final minute, 3rd quarter. And Al tries to get, he says he uses that technique with the jump rope to get the nervous system going.
Give it a shock and get him in gear.
Foul called on Whatley, his first.
Whatley is a guy that they just got from the CBA to take the place of Baffle, who has the hepatitis problem. Whatley did play here in Chicago, and a lot of people think he should be in the NBA. He's got some good skills, but now he's going to have to come up and with the challenge of stopping this man right there, old number 23,
who now has 27 points, along with 6 rebounds and 11 assists.
Well, 11 assists are really the most interesting part, because that's the part of his game that's most improved.
I just misspoke. It's 8 assists.
8 assists?
Yeah.
Chicago 102.
That's the end of the third quarter with our score. Chicago 102. Atlanta succeeded 100 points, and they do so in 3 quarters. And you want to see a rejected shot? Watch Micheal Jordan against Ennis Whatley.
Well, he's got that great leaping ability, but what he does so well, he's not just an offensive player, but his defense is exceptional. And he got upset that he wasn't named to the all-defensive team, either first or second team, and he's out to prove that he's a good defensive player, like most North Carolina University players are when they come into the pros.
I saw a note in one of the local papers today that Jordan has blocked more shots this year than 16 NBA centers.
And he's got a good number of steals to go along with the blocks.
Here's John Paxson now joining Scottie Pippen, Sellers, Corzine, and Horace Grant. Very young team on the lineup, except for Corzine now for Chicago. Washburn dishes off to Wilkins, takes it all the way. He'll shoot a couple.
Well, there's been nothing soft in Dominique's shooting today.
The lineup now, former Arkansas player.
More incorporated into their offense. Bring him back to where he was last season. Did an outstanding job at the power forward spot. And also, I think they've got to really bring Washburn along now that Konkak may be out for the season.
Dominique puts the pump fake on Sellers, gets him to leave his feet, and then puts it in.
They didn't double team.
Score.
Anybody that's got a big guy likes to put a big guy on Dominique, take away the outside shot, force him to drive and angle him off. And Sellers is the ideal bit of box. There's not much you can do with him. Puts it on the floor, gets a half a good position, up fake. Sellers goes for the second one. Held his ground pretty nicely, but not long enough for Dominique.
9:49 remaining in the ball game. Chicago, propelled by a 40-point outburst in quarter number 2, has extended that lead now 104-88. Vern Lundquist along with Tom Heinsohn here on a presidential holiday. Special broadcast of the NBA on CBS. Bulls leading at 104-88. And let's check now. They've got Micheal Jordan, John Paxson, Horace Grant, Oakley, and Scottie Pippen on the court right now.
No center. So Oakley more than likely will be there. Pivot man is 12.
I'm looking at the hand signals over here, and I'm totally misreading them.
I mean, he got more than 3.
8:55 to go. Willis.
Willis.
He in control. The defense back below the pick, read it perfectly, pulls up, shoots the J. It's done. It's over.
Nice. Whatley gets 2.
I want to see if he can play defense and also if he can run that ball.
That's a 3 for Paxson. Scott Hastings, Dominique Wilkins, back to Whatley. Team coming in against Larry Brown's Kansas Jayhawks, who have been decimated by injuries this year and other ineligibilities. Antoine Carr back in the lineup.
Well, that Kansas team, Danny Manning, is how great he is, but he's really truly a great player. People are not misguided by the fact that he's on the road this year. It's his
Dominique
team.
Wilkins with 22, Micheal Jordan with 30 rebounds, a 12-4 edge for Jordan. And he's at 13 of 22 from the field to Wilkins 7 of 20.
Well, Dominique has not really taken charge as he's done all week long with his Atlanta team. He still has scored, but it hasn't been a Wilkins game.
There's Paxson off the dribble. The shot too strong. And here comes Dominique on the run. No offensive foul called. A no call, and the crowd didn't like it. Now Oakley picks up this foul.
Different kind of look. Small, but big in the back because he plays like Micheal Jordan. He's got a good dribble.
The feed to Sellers. Pippen with the follow. Oh! Great body control, Tom.
And of course, when you put a guy at his size.
That's 11 points off the bench for Scottie Pippen. 5 rebounds. Make it 12. Under the 7-minute mark now, 111-95. And Cleveland leads Sacramento at the half, 50-48. How about Mark Price this year for Cleveland?
Well, he's done a great job coming to his own. He had some injuries. But the Cleveland Ball Club has got all that youth. Their injuries really hurt their development. You got all that, and the injuries hurt them so that they didn't produce the wins, but they're starting to get it together now.
Nice spin move by Dominique Wilkins. 1:06:05 to go in the ball game.
Now, one of these teams is going to, in this division, is going to try and outlast the Celtics. Well, they're coming down the stretch trying to beat Boston's overall record in the conference to have the home court advantage.
Of course, Atlanta had it in the Hawks column. 113-97, 5:15 to go. Oakley doesn't get the shot to fall.
That time, Oakley got the ball, and he was on a glide pattern instead of a leap pattern.
Charles Oakley with 2 shots.
Corzine sets a beautiful pick here. I mean, that's a wide body. And into the defense, Carr did not cut off the penetration. There's the laydown pass. And you see that inability of Oakley to lift and get the good jump causes him to really not score a lot of hoops underneath. He's so strong getting rebounds. If he could just jump about a foot, he'd be so tough to stop.
Rivers in the off-balance shot. Oh, what a dandy play by Pippen. How about that for heads up? Literally.
That was not a rookie move. Carr's head made it work.
Antoine didn't know quite what to think.
That hurts, boy. That hurts.
Oakley.
I guarantee you, Micheal Jordan wanted to pass the ball that time, but there were 5 red jerseys attacking him, and he couldn't find anybody open.
So he just hung there for 3 seconds.
Just hung there until they went by. Look at all those jerseys around him. Took the blow, and we'll get to the line, but that's how fantastic this man is. He's getting that leap down where he's making them effective for everybody in his ball club, and I wouldn't want to have to try and defend him by the end of this season. I mean, he is not just a scorer anymore. He's a legitimate weapon.
Would you, at this point in the year, would he be your MVP?
I have to say, probably by the end of the year, he would be. He's carried this team. He's diversified his game. But don't sell Dominique Wilkins short, too.
Okay.
He's carried his team on his shoulders for the last few weeks.
Pippen with a rebound. Washburn comes down with it for a run. Wittman off the pick. Jordan with the rebound. 13 rebounds for Micheal Jordan. 3:30 to go. Chicago will win this one. Washburn and Corzine battling underneath. Washburn won the battle.
5 seconds on the shot clock. 5 seconds.
Well, you want a comparative figure. Wilt Chamberlain averaged 42 points per game, and Jabbar 31.8, and Jordan's number 3. That's after 3 years in the league. Here comes Webb. Lays it back beautifully for Washburn.
Now that is really an excellent, I mean a superior fast break play. To use the initial thrust on a fast break and then hit a trailer and know the trailer's coming behind you. That's intelligence.
Been a good day for Doug Collins and the Chicago Bulls. Been a good day for Kathy Collins, too. She's with Jim Nance. Jimmy?
All right, Vern. You know, both Vern and I worked with Doug Collins here on CBS, and we know what he's like off the broadcast. But what about after a game like this, Kathy?
Well, he'll be very excited because it's nothing better than to win on national TV and to have our team do so well.
How about those rare occasions when he does lose? What's he like?
Well, he's pretty devastated. He says it's worse. The losses don't make up for the wins. They're much more devastating.
You know, I remember Chris Collins, your son, who's an exceptional athlete. Tell me how he's doing.
He's doing great. He is. His team has only lost 2 games in 3 years, so he just loves it. He's doing fabulous.
Chris is a ball boy at the Chicago Bull home games, but today they did hold class, so he had to miss this national television appearance.
Yes, he did, but I'm sure he'll be happy that I made it on TV.
All right, Kathy, thank you very much. Let's go back to Vern and Tommy.
Okay, fine, Jim. Thank you, Kathy. That goes right into what Doug was saying about the things he's learning, Tommy, about coaching. He can't really enjoy the victories.
What happens is you get so embroiled in a long season that one game doesn't mean an awful lot. It's consistency of what you're doing. And for you to solve, even when you solve them, there's something new, challenging happening tomorrow.
Corzine in the final one. Brad Sellers.
This is the guy that's having an outstanding day.
Yeah,
today.
Sellers.
Brad Sellers, boy. That's as aggressive a game as I've ever seen Sellers play.
The foul call on Antoine Carr, and that's all. His 6th personal foul.
Antoine Carr fouls out. And Doug Collins allows himself a rare smile on the bench. He said the one thing he thinks he brings to this team as a young coach is a sense of consistency, that he doesn't get too up after a big win, nor does he chew them out in the locker room after a particularly woeful loss.
Well, if you're going to be a pro's pro, a player has to understand that you can't get overexcited about a particular win or get down in the dumps about a particular loss. You have to be even keel and have a work ethic that produces the same type of intensity game in and game out. Don't let your emotions overcome. And that's what the 2 rookies are having a problem with. They enjoy the victories too much and sink too low when they lose to really enjoy playing the game.
Chicago wins it. A strong second quarter propelled them to a 19-point victory, 126-107. We'll be back in a moment. Another typical game for Micheal Jordan. Miller's proud to present a check of $5,000 on behalf of Mike to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund.